Divorce is Not an Option podcast. Stephen James Dixon.
Tamara Daracell.
Tamara Daracell. That's how we pronounce
Yes.
it. Is that French or Cajun or what is
It
that?
is. It is Cajun. His
Is he
family
is
is
he
from
from Louisiana?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know. Did you ever
Lafayette.
tell me that? You probably told me Lafayette.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is he a LSU fan? Or is he a Texas fan?
He's a Texas fan. He's a Texas boy. I mean, he's all about that Houston.
But he was born in Lafayette.
No, he was born in Houston, but his whole family is from Louisiana. So it's like half of them in Houston, half of them in Louisiana. His grandmother moved to Louisiana. I mean to Houston.
So he's choosing the state of Texas. That's what he's doing.
Well, I mean that's where he's been all his life.
I mean, I haven't been in Louisiana all my life. I'm not feeling that, man. Like, I'm gonna have to holler at him about that. I didn't know it was like that. I just assumed he was a Texas boy or something like that. You know, like Texas. I'm not feeling him, man.
Whatever. Don't hate on Texas. Do not hate on Texas.
Oh, that's right.
You've been all over the place. So you went to school in Missouri and, whatever. Like, was born and raised in Texas.
How you just going whatever I did? How you just going whatever?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even count. Anyway, okay, so you just totally messed up our script. Let me backtrack and ask everybody to be sure to subscribe and follow our podcast so you can be automatically alerted. See, you got me. I can even talk now. When we produce new episodes on iTunes, Spreaker.com, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud, we would love for you guys to know. So tell a friend and repost and retweet this podcast for us.
Guess what?
What?
I got new headphones because I don't like the way I sound. So I'm hoping that I was going to tell you, like, I got new headphones and I upgraded them a little bit, but I wanted to at least have a show where I sound better than you first. And then after that, I'm going to tell you.
Don't hate because I always get the good stuff.
I don't know why you sound better than me on the podcast. So I was like, okay, episode 20, I'm going to sound better than her. My headphones is hot. I mean, I'm just can't wait to listen to see how I sound.
I'm going to need you to focus on real stuff.
What we talking about this week?
Okay, so normally we just kind of talk and give whatever input or feedback that we have on what's going on. But today we are trying to issue a challenge for all those podcasters out there. So we have our 10 Pounds for Love challenge.
You know what? Are you going to get like co-author, writing and all that kind of stuff now?
We have to discuss all of that. We have not contracted all that out. But yes, I'm definitely gonna have to figure that one out.
I might have to have my attorney, holler. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring it to
need my cut.
You know what I'm saying? I know your husband gonna be like, yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll be like, I'm her manager.
Right. He not even gonna tell you. He just gonna start.
No.
He just gonna have an attorney that he selects. Contact my attorney and be like, yo, where the paper was at? Where the contract
at? That worked out.
I ain't mad at that. I would do the same.
Okay, so back to 10 Pounds for Love.
Let's do it.
So we've done some research and we have found that one study from Ohio State said that in 2011, the study was saying that people gain about 20 pounds after getting married. I'm sorry?
No, I was agreeing.
Yes. And so, in reading and doing some other research we found on marriage.com, weight gain is one of the top 10 reasons. It's actually number 5 that people get divorced. So this is a serious topic.
Right. I think when we talked about it, I remember, I don't know if it was week before last, where you kind of asked me what was the most difficult thing to talk about. And I said weight gain. And this was the reason why. But also, let's take a moment to talk about the differences between why you gain weight in marriage. Do you know why? Have you figured it out yet? You only been married in, a couple months.
Well, for me as a woman, I had my own how I eat. I didn't eat dinner all the time. And I kind of had a food as fuel mentality, so I didn't have to have gourmet meals all the time. And then getting married, I'm trying to cook for my man. And so we have dinner every night. And now I'm eating like a man.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Like I explain it to people as like when you're single, you can just eat whatever or not eat or whatever you decide. You're deciding for yourself. But when you're married, you actually have dinner.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Which means you're gonna have some carbs and some starches. You might have some fat sometimes or
Yep.
whatever, and so you find, and also you don't just eat like I might be on the way, just stop, grab a taco or something like that when I'm single. But when I'm married, now I call my wife, hey, what would you like to eat? And then we're going out to eat versus me
Mm-hmm.
just grabbing some sushi from a grocery store. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Now I'm ordering food. I'm like yesterday I went to Babes yesterday where you get the catfish and the green beans and the corn
Oh
and the
my
mashed
gosh.
potatoes and and that's just the dinner. That just comes with the dinner. You know what I mean? For
Yes.
the whole family. And so you just eat totally different when you get married. So it's not even necessarily when it says that people gain about 2 pounds a year on average after they get married. It's not even necessarily like saying that it's
No,
bad
two
or on
pounds a year on
purpose.
average was anybody.
Right. That's just
That's
saying
everybody.
just
That's just regular people.
that's
So,
just regular people.
yeah. So once you get married, it's even higher.
Yep. And so from that we were just like, okay, so gaining weight was number 5. Infidelity was number 1 on that list on marriage.com. So I had already kind of started a mindset of thinking that the weight gain was negatively impacting energy, sex drive, affection, intimacy, all of those types of things.
Attraction.
Attraction, yes, that's the key word, right? And just saying, okay, how can we marry these two things and come up with 10 pounds for love? And so you can explain it a little bit too, Tamara.
Okay, so we have this challenge that we came up with, and we're calling it 10 Steps to Getting Back to Making Love, or we're wrapping it in 10 Steps to Getting Back to Making Love. But the whole point, the 10 pounds for love, is for us to lose weight all through the end of 2017, and work on creating healthy habits and a healthy lifestyle and healthier marriages and more intimacy.
Yeah, so 10 pounds for love, 10 pounds. We're hoping that people will volunteer and challenge themselves and challenge their spouses to lose 1 pound a week starting October 22nd. So October 22nd to December 31st is 10 weeks. So that's Sunday to Sunday. And so we're hoping that people will join our challenge and lose 1 pound a week in hopes of losing weight, gaining more energy, doing fun things together, and having more sex in our marriages. So our marriages, of course, last longer. And we started out our first 10 steps. We broke down our steps into the first 3 are about eating and what not to eat. And Tamara kind of walk us through those. And then the next couple steps, 4 through 7, is more about healthy, working out, exercise, working out together, things like that. And then we'll end up talking about sex, the last 4 steps.
Yep. And so we're going to be, Stephen and I and our spouses are going to be participating in in this challenge, and everybody's starting on Sunday. And are we ready? Want to just jump into the 10 steps to get back to making love?
Step 1, Tamara, shoot it,
Okay.
go.
So, starting with step 1, on the first week, we want you to focus on the fact that fall is fat season. So we are trying to negate that. Summer is over, and your beach body goes the way of summer. We sitting on the couch, chilling. It's getting colder. You just cuddle up with your boo. And it's just easy to gain that weight. And so for step 1, we want to try to focus on portioning. So smaller portion sizes, especially the starches, potatoes, rice, mac and cheese. We're going to cut all of that. We're going to cut bread completely, and just focus on having decent portion sizes, cutting the carbs and starches in half, and increasing our veggies and salads by half. So we're going to double the veggies and salads, and take up the space that we cut out the carbs and starches with.
Okay, so fall is fat season. Like, I love that. Like, you got to just say that. Like, you just kind of went through it. But fall is for real fat season.
It really is. It really is. Because, the weather gets cooler. We start eating heavier stuff. We don't really care because we can wear big, bulky clothes. And we just cover it up and eat. And then all the holidays, the big eating holidays, fall in the fall and winter season.
And we don't get those like outside, happen to be walking around the mall, it's hot and sunny, sweating. You know, we ain't sweat. Some people go months without breaking a sweat now when the fall and the winter roll in.
Yep.
And so fall is definitely fat season, and I bet people gain all their weight from now until the end of the year for the most part.
And studies have shown, yeah, people gain an average of 2 pounds a year, and most of that weight is gained in that holiday season.
Are you one of those people, Tamara, that can eat a hamburger without the bread?
Yeah, I do. I eat, I'll either do like a lettuce wrapped around the burger, or I found collard greens, just some braised greens is really good. If I don't have that option, I'll just, if I'm doing something really quick, I rarely eat fast food, but if I do, I will get a burger and just eat it open faced, take one bun off.
Take one bun off. Okay. Tell us some more weird stuff you be doing.
Really?
I know you. I just know. I just know. My gut just tells me Tamara has some weird eating habits that are not normal, but that are within reason. Like I too can't eat a whole burger these days. Like my favorite spot, Twisted Root, I might eat that whole burger. But if I'm anywhere else, especially fast food, I am not eating both sides of the bread. I just can't do it.
Yeah, well, I try not to eat fast food at all, and I've cut out red meat. So really, when I'm talking burger, is if I do, the only place I go to is Chick-fil-A. And so then I'll just take one bun off of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. But I've also found that those sandwiches are kind of high in sodium, even the grilled chicken sandwiches. I don't do fried anything. Um, you put me on the spot now because I don't eat like I used to eat because I got a man and we're not eating the same way. But things that I used to do, okay, so if I did get like I used to go to Cheesecake Factory and order the portobello mushroom sandwich, and I would eat that open faced, and then I would get a side of broccoli instead of the fries. That's a big deal, not getting the fries to go with whatever sandwich or burger you get.
Yep, I want to make sure that we are slowing down, and hopefully people are taking notes and
Yes.
really like getting that. Okay, and wait, back up sidebar for a second.
Okay.
You said when I order a burger, but then you said you don't eat meat, so you're really talking about Chick-fil-A. I think Chick-fil-A would be offended that you call their sandwich a burger.
Okay. So it's chicken sandwich. Or even I said the same thing about Cheesecake Factory. It's actually a portobello mushroom. No, they call it a burger, portobello mushroom burger.
That's different. I think that the cow on the Chick-fil-A commercial will be offended
Okay,
that
you're
you
right.
said you had a
You're
burger
right.
in
The cow
Chick-fil-A.
probably
That
would. But I
that
mean,
cow be everywhere.
I do veggie burgers. And I really have tried to limit the amount of chicken I'm eating as well. But so I'm trying to move towards vegetarian. Um, but I know that's extreme for a lot of people. Somebody probably just stopped listening because I said the word vegetarian.
They just cut it off. You should not have said it. We talked about not saying that word before the show, Tamara. And you
My
just
bad.
said it anyway.
I'm like, and even worse is if somebody says vegan.
Yep.
Everybody's all on
My
this
wife,
what the health show. Uh,
my wife is a vegetarian now. Like she hasn't eaten any meat in probably 3 months, besides the one time I barbecued her shrimp. Like she loves shrimp, and I barbecued it the way she likes it, and she did eat 20 shrimp, I think, over 3 days. One time she told me.
that's awesome.
Right, but besides that, she's not. She hasn't eaten any meat.
Yes, so I'm really trying to move into that. But the hard part is, especially when you're a vegan, so you're cutting out dairy and meat, then it's easy to fill that up with carbs. So you have to recognize that even if you are moving in one direction, I mean, because there are overweight vegetarians and vegans, and because if you just gonna eat a whole bunch of chips and pretzels and whatever, as opposed to the cheese, then you're still gonna gain weight. So the main thing here is to cut out the carbs. When you're talking about just weight gain, for me, cutting out the meat was for health reasons. But if you're just talking about weight loss, those carbs are major.
What do you eat for breakfast?
Generally, I eat either a smoothie with bananas, strawberries, spinach, and protein powder and almond milk, or I eat coconut milk yogurt with granola.
Is almond milk kind of sweet?
It can be. I get unsweetened almond milk. like it.
Mhm.
I like it. So, I mean, I'm like, it's not supposed to be dessert. But you
Mhm.
can get sweetened almond milk. It's like a 10, 20 calorie difference. It's not huge, but as much as I drink almond milk, I try to reduce that.
And then I heard you say, like, even when you go to Cheesecake Factory, you order your portobello mushroom sandwich, you open face, meaning you only eat one side of the bread,
Hmm.
and then you definitely don't eat the fries.
Order a
You'll
side of
order
broccoli
a
or some
broccoli.
asparagus or something else, a vegetable instead of fries.
Yeah, the only time I eat fries now is when I order them for my kids and I eat a couple of theirs just to have a couple fries. But I almost never eat fries either. Like I'm really the carbs for me is what really stops me from losing weight. Like
Yes.
all the carbs, all the sandwiches I eat and stuff like that. That's the killer for me. I already
And
know.
that's a lot of people. I'm not a big bread person, so it doesn't even really bother me to eat the open face. But French fries, I love. So I have a really that's something that's taken time to create the habit to say, okay, can you give me the broccoli instead of the fries? Sometimes it hurts, but I know it's better for me.
Where have you successfully ordered like the lettuce wrapped burgers? Like, if I assume that you go to Cheesecake Factory and said, "Can I have a burger with no bread with lettuce?" That they would just bring it out and like they get that sometimes.
I'm sure they do. I haven't done it there as much, but Fuddruckers is on the menu.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, it
mhm.
is. Oh, okay.
So it's a menu option. But for the most part, um, yeah, if you order it, they'll do it.
Do you make your husband taste all this stuff? Because my wife like will order a veggie burger with. I'm sure she would love to go to Fuddruckers and order a veggie burger with lettuce wrap and basically try to force me Annie Mae style to eat to taste the burger. Do
Actually,
you try to
I
make your
don't have
husband?
a problem with that. He likes trying new things, so he'll taste it, you know. That's not gonna be what he orders, but
I don't want to taste this stuff. I don't want to
he
taste it.
don't have a problem tasting it. And I mean, just like we had veggie burgers. I got a veggie burger the other night, and he had half of it.
And you know what? And that's one point I want to make sure we make too is if you love burgers and you love fries, just make it at home. Like that will just save some
Exactly.
calories and some fats. And it's a huge difference whether you eat something. I mean, you can go to In-N-Out Burger because they never freeze their things, and you know it's a little bit fresher. I think they cut all the potatoes at the store.
Yeah, but what you don't realize is those good fries are actually like double fried. Like they fry them, then they dry them out and shake out the oil, and then they like refry them. And that's what makes them so good and crunchy and fattening.
At In-N-Out Burger.
No, just period, like restaurants. That's generally how they make
Oh, okay.
fries.
Oh, okay, okay. That's why we are in agreement with saying that it's a lot better to just make it at home.
Yes, it is. And if you can bake them, even better.
Yeah, I really spend a lot of time finding the fries that say bake. They don't necessarily say bake anymore. Now it sounds like you could just bake them. My wife has this stone dish or something that we put fries on the bake, and they turn out crispy enough for me. And so definitely folks should try that.
Exactly, exactly. And one thing that I just said that my husband and I do sometimes is splitting a meal. Like when you go out to eat, those portion sizes are not one meal size.
Right.
So when you go out to eat, if you guys can agree on one plate, get that one plate, split it in half, and that's closer to a portion than eating that whole
How
plate.
how hard is it to agree on one plate?
We like pretty much the same thing, so
Oh,
it's not bad. It was a difficult thing when I was eating beef because I used to love steak, and he doesn't eat me like that. So I would just crave steaks, and he would be like, "I'm good." But yeah, it's not too bad now. How about y'all?
It's difficult only because my wife doesn't eat a lot of. My wife,
Um,
number one, before she was a vegetarian, she didn't eat beef. She didn't eat pork. She doesn't eat chicken on the bone. So her transition has not been significant. She basically just eats seafood and chicken breast and turkey breast. Like that's it anyway. And so for some reason, actually, having said that, she would probably say that oftentimes that we will tend to order kind of the same thing, but we never think of sharing a meal. Because what I always do is I just take my food the next day. Like if I don't eat it
Yeah.
all, I just use it as
Yeah.
lunch for the
And
next
that's
day.
another way to do it. Just cut your meal in half, get a to-go box, put it immediately before you eat, put that half in the to-go box and only eat the half that's left. That's another way to do that. But yeah, I mean, we both like generally fish. We both love fish. So, we're pretty good at liking the same thing. But let's move on to the second one.
No, wait,
What?
wait. That's another good point. I just want to make sure people getting these jewels that you dropping. You just said that as soon as the food comes to the table, go ahead and ask for your to-go box right now and split that meal in half up front.
Yes.
Because sometimes I'm always too like, let me get one more bite. Let me get one
Right.
more bite. You know what I mean? And if you split it up front and you just say to yourself, so these are all tools and advice and jewels that we're saying, hey, these are some of the things that we're actively doing that helps us, save a couple calories, save some weight, eat a little bit more healthy, ask for, and I always like, even when I'm out, like say for example, I go somewhere where I'm getting catfish, I'll ask, can I have, like you said, can I have the asparagus on the side? Sometimes, like you go to Papa Do's, you order the catfish basket or something like that. I love catfish, and I'll just say, hey, let me have the asparagus on the side, and I won't really eat the fries. I'll, force myself to eat all my asparagus first, and then I might get a couple fries after that. But I'll be tossing fries away,
I
man.
really had to let Papados go.
Mm.
Because the only thing that I was able to eat there was the tilapia. I mean, no, the Greek salad, and I would either put tilapia or salmon on it. And I'm more and more reading that tilapia is not good for you. Um,
Man, they said that tilapia be coming from Vietnam
yes, and
in a swamp
yes, and they
somewhere in
feeding them
Vietnam.
tilapia like crazy stuff. So I'm like, if there's only one thing on the menu that is not 1,000,000 calories that I can eat, I try to avoid it. And the other thing is, I love Papado's drinks, and the swap things. That's a lot of calories too. And that's one thing that people don't think
Okay,
about
so
a lot is how many calories are you drinking?
yes, yes, I don't have that problem. I don't drink. So yeah, we talk about 10 steps to getting back to making love. Hashtag 10 pounds for love. We on our first step, spent a lot of time on that because I felt like we were dropping a lot of, things that people could actively do. So first step, Tamara walked us through was fall is fat season. Remember that for the rest of the year, deeply involved in fat season, because we're not walking around as much. We're not outdoors shopping at the mall. We're not doing all that stuff as much, and we're not getting the calories that we get to sweat from being out hot somewhere. And so yeah, fall is fat season. I just keep saying that line. I love it so much. I think that's a great line.
So if you do that
Uh,
just for the first week, if you just cut your carbs in half, at least in half, you should lose a pound.
Yep, you cut your carbs in half. And then other point we made on that one was smaller portion sizes. Step two is watch what you put in your
Right,
mouth.
right. So we've now cut back on the carbs, and each step, mind you, is building on the ones before. So just because you get to step two doesn't mean step one is done. Step one is starting one habit, and then now you're on step two, and you're continuing with one habit and starting a new one. Um, now that we've cut back on carbs, that's, cutting down on something, let's focus on what else it is that we're putting in our mouth. And one thing is American society, one, all activities are surrounded by food or kind of centered around food. Um, and two, we act like food is entertainment. Um, and food is fuel. You eat to stay alive. You eat to live. You should not live to eat. Um, you guess what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's kind of step two and step three kind of together. We kind of
Oh,
run
my
them in
bad.
together
I
a
did
little
go.
bit. Right. Right, food is fuel is not is step three. So really, step two. I think if you talked about it from an overall, how we kind of talked about it and envisioned, there are bad things that go in your
Right,
mouth that we kind of talked about doing better about the bad things you put in your
right.
mouth, and then we kind of talk about in step two about learning to put more good things in your mouth. Like the roasted Brussels
Mm-hmm.
sprouts I'm hearing is good. I'm still afraid to try them.
Seriously?
Can you speak to them? I'm afraid. Like I don't know. It's something about the Brussels sprouts I
I
can't do.
love Brussels sprouts. And I will say I have been trying, my mama makes amazing Brussels sprouts and I haven't quite gotten them to whatever she does to them. But Brussels sprouts, start out at a restaurant and get Brussels sprouts. That's what I would say to kind of adjust to them. They are so good. And then that gives you the idea of how to cook them at home. But yes, Brussels sprouts are great. I love asparagus. Um, you you mentioned green beans, spinach, and I really love spinach salads. Like we just buy spinach from the store and just throw it in there and some cranberries and some nuts and some baked salmon and just make a salad.
My wife takes spinach and she adds like this uncured turkey bacon, and she like sears it in a skillet, like just
Mm,
kind of, with, and I don't know if she uses butter or Pam or what she does, but it's like wilted spinach, and it's good. Like I said, she does the roasted vegetables. She just roast like anything, like carrots, the Brussels sprouts, just all vegetables. She one of the people that eat all the vegetables, everything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
I'm the same
she just
way.
throw everything, eat that. Not me. I'm not
I
like that.
love
You know what I'm
vegetables.
saying? Like, yes, I love my asparagus, my spinach, my green beans. I can't do the Brussels sprouts yet. I'm gonna try those. I love smoked asparagus. I get that sometimes at a spot called Central Market. So definitely, to the people listening out there, make sure you're cognizant of not only what bad things you put in your mouth, but also the good things that you have to start increasingly put in your mouth.
Yes.
One of the things we talked about too on step two was just point blank, just give up the fast food for the last 10 weeks.
Yes, that is major. Especially someone who goes to eats fast food regularly. And this requires some planning. Um, this
Yes.
requires that you do some meal prep. Sunday, you may need to pack lunches for the next couple of days, or whatever it is that you need to do. Take your weekend to stop and plan out what you're going to eat for the week, because otherwise you end up hungry and it's, the middle of the middle of the week and you are not at home, and then you stopping at McDonald's and grabbing, some chicken McNuggets. But if you plan, then you avoid those kind of situations.
Yeah, and when and we talked about planning too on this step, we talked about planning to eat more fruit. Like take an apple with you to
Yes.
work and eat the apple. If the apple's not for decoration, or you don't wait till you hungry or wait till you crave an apple, you just eat the apple.
So I keep snacks in
Um,
my bag, like fruit, apples. I love the little cuties. Um, actually, the tuna packets. They have tuna packets that are flavored lemon pepper or ranch style or whatever, that are like 80 to 100 calories a packet. And you could just eat that with some veggies, some raw veggies. Um, there's a whole bunch of different things that, you can just keep the little baby carrots. You can just carry that around in a lunch bag, or I actually carry this kind of stuff in my purse. But but that way, when I'm hungry, I have something and I'm not trapped and feeling like I need to run Chick-fil-A.
Step three, what we're talking about on food is fuel. Kind of mentioned it a little bit, but the main point we want to make there too is that weight loss is mostly about eating
Yeah, and I
right.
want to I want to
It's not
back up
necessarily about eating.
before we go to step three, and talk about the fact that this is a lot for people who are not used to eating healthy like this. And it's okay to have one cheat meal a week, but recognize that that's cheat meal. That's not cheat day. Um, and it's once a week, and you can, and even still kind of use some, like don't go crazy with it. But you can have, one cheat meal where you splurge a little bit, where maybe you have your French fries once a week. But it's not like, the what is the largest size at McDonald's?
Whatever that thing
Exactly, that
is,
big red
gargantuan.
thing. So, it's a medium fry. And so, and preferably still the one that you cooked at home. But, so still enjoy your life, but recognize that you have to kind of temper that a little bit and be moderate about it. Okay.
I've gotten better. I've gotten better at tasting dessert. Like I don't need to
Yes.
eat the whole thing. I've gotten a
And I
lot
will
better at
say
that.
Seasons 52 is one of my favorite restaurants because they have the shooters for dessert. Like, and that is my weakness. While I eat dressing. I mean, I eat salad with no dressing. I just love vegetables. I can eat healthy, but sweets, my sweet tooth is my weakness. So, I'll do a shooter from season 52. Those things, and as tiny as those are 300 calories.
I don't even know what a
You
shooter
know, like a
is.
shot glass? It's like a
Uh,
dessert in a shot glass.
oh, is that
Yep.
what it is? Okay. Okay. I mean, I knew what a shooter was as far as a drink, but I didn't know that they were having desserts and
Exactly.
things.
So some restaurants, are doing that now, but I know Seasons 52, like all of theirs are, and they're really, I mean, it's like, red velvet cake, pecan pie, real good desserts that are in a shot glass that helps your portioning because you think, oh, that's tiny, but that's 250, 300 calories in a little shot glass. So think about if you eating a whole piece of pecan pie with whipped cream on top, how many calories that is.
Okay, so we spent a majority of the time talking about what you eat because experts have said that 70 to 80% of weight loss is exactly what you eat, not necessarily working out. We'll transition now to working out, but just know that 70 to 80%, especially as you progress in age, because your metabolism gets slower, it is
Right.
what you eat. So we definitely have to watch for the bad stuff we put in our mouth and focus more on the good stuff we put in our mouth. Step number 4 is just prioritizing a workout schedule, just learning that working out is not like I'm a workout. It's like working out is not I'm gonna figure out when to work out.
Yeah. I was gonna
Which
say
go
it's
ahead.
not I'm in the gym 24 hours a day, but you have to create workouts that are, maybe 30 minutes a day to start out with, and you have to schedule, put it in your calendar, from 12 to 12:30 at lunch every day or from 6 to 6:30 when I get home every day, I am going to do this.
Right. It's not like I think some people just work out when it's
Hmm.
convenient or when they
It's
have
never
extra
convenient.
time or right. It's never convenient. You never have extra time. You for the most part, the majority of people, average person doesn't have like you can't just have a mindset, yeah, this weekend I'll get a
Right.
workout in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta say on Saturday from 10 to 11, I'm gonna
Every
work out,
day.
and take every day or just you have to plan. And so the step again is called prioritizing workout time, meaning that you have to take some of your free time and say, I'm gonna use some of my free time, some of my time on Facebook, some of my time on Instagram, some of my time playing video games, some of my time just talking on the phone to friends or whatever, some of my time, just hanging out at the bar having a drink. I'm gonna take 30 minutes of that time back and prioritize working out over doing something, fun or whatever.
Exactly. And think of it as a job or, something that is just a staple of your day. You just have to do it.
Step 5, Tamara, you
Okay,
finished with
so
it?
step 5 is finding the fun in fitness. So now that we found the time, or created the time that we're going to work out, we're going to create fun ways to work out. And some of that, I know sometimes schedules are difficult. Wife works here, husband works there. Um, or wife hates the gym, husband is a gym rat. So there are some, different personalities and schedules and things going on, but find the stuff that you enjoy doing. Um, I like to dance. I like yoga. Those are the things that I enjoy. I really am not. I used to be a gym rat, but more and more, the older I get, the less I want to just be in a gym with the machines. So I try to find those workouts. My husband just bought us bikes. And so we've been bike riding together, which is something we both enjoy doing. So we have, we scheduled out our own workout time separately, and then we schedule a workout time together.
Yeah, it's actually walking together and biking together is way more fun than what you
It is.
think it is. For the people that don't do it, just going outside and walking together with your spouse for 30 minutes, and cracking jokes or just being out, just doing something together, good quality time, good fun, good investment of
Mhm.
energy, it's so much more fun than what you would think. Like you just think we're going on a walk, but whenever you see people walking, don't they appear to be happy? Don't they appear to be, like they taking their free time and they doing something constructive with it and they're gonna be healthy from it. And so finding the fun in fitness is finding out what things that you can do that are not, perceived to be some hard. If you're not the super workout king or the gym rat, like Tamara says, walk together, ride bikes together. I got a couple that play softball together every
Yeah.
weekend, play basketball together. Working out doesn't have to be, P90X in the morning every day. The other thing too, I always talk about when I talk about things like this is I like for people to find something that they can consistently
Yes.
do. And P90X is not going to be consistent for the average
No,
person.
it's a lot on the body. And it gets, for me, it gets boring after you've done it for 30 days and you got to do it again for another, or 90 days or whatever it is. Um, but I will say, walking together is a good way to just decompress from your day and just spend time together. A lot of the issues in marriage is just that you don't really have the time to just be together. And that's a great way to just be together.
Yep. And step 6, workout for health increases energy. Health.com states exercise boosts endorphins, which lift your mood and can increase your energy. Not to mention that being toned,
Amen,
get the
amen.
muscles up, make some people feel sexier. And so we're talking about, again, eating right. Now we're talking about being healthy and talking about how being healthy provides you more energy. You learn how to not be some lazy person laying on the couch every day. You don't pick up bad habits. And again, our ultimate goal is to increase the sexual activity in our marriages.
Yep. So, I mean, working out just makes you feel better about yourself. Sometimes the hardest thing is just getting off the couch and getting just that walk started. But once it's done, you always feel amazing. You're always thankful that you did it.
Yeah. WebMD says when you make time to take care of your body and relationships, it pays off in many ways, including more fun in the bedroom. Your brain is one of your best sex organs. So when you think that you're sexy, and that's a real thing that a lot of couples that I meet with, they walk into this thing, they've gained the weight, they don't feel sexy anymore, therefore they don't want to have sex. So that's one of the big problems that we face in marriages. If you don't feel sexy yourself, then how can you expect your partner to feel sexy about you? And then the sex suffers. And I had to tell a couple this week that we have to have sex. Like sex is what's the difference between my marriage and my relationship with anybody else that's walking the face of the earth. It's what makes my marriage relationship different and unique. And it's also beyond the physical act. It is the act that joins us mentally, emotionally, we connect spiritually, all of that thing. And so those are the things. And I think too, when I have couples that are not having sex, one of the things I look at is how they're not connected. They're not willing to compromise. They're not feeling each other. It's just another dude now, another chick now if you're not having sex.
Exactly. And working out can give you better orgasms and just give you a more fulfilling sex life. And one point that you made before that really struck me was that a lot of times when a partner is dissatisfied with the other partner because they've gained weight, they are not necessarily all about you have to hit X amount of pound goal and you have to lose 20 pounds or whatever, but they just want the partner to do something. So just the act of actually putting forth the effort, when the partner sees that, can make the partner more attractive.
Yeah, 8 years of relationship coaching. I would say, and I get a lot of couples where weight gain is a major issue. And number one, either they don't talk about it because it's hurtful, or number two, when they do talk about it, they are hurtful. Like the other thing about weight gain, we have to have a whole show probably about, like, it is either not talk about it at all, or since they weren't talking about it, just over time, the resentment builds in, and now the communication is very hurtful. And it's like no area in between I've found in couples. Like it's no, and that's why I said it's the most difficult thing to talk about, is because we don't know how to have a regular conversation about, hey boo, hey honey, you gained a couple pounds, you know what I'm saying? What can we do to start eating better together, or can we start working out? Those conversations are just not happening in our marriage.
But even being sensitive and saying something like that is still going to be taken offensively.
Yep, people are just offended by it, and I had to actually tell a couple this week, like, I don't believe in unconditional love. I don't know, that's a whole other podcast. I don't believe in that. I'll just do the whole podcast
Yes, you
off with
really
that.
did.
I
You
don't believe
really
in it.
did.
I don't believe in it. It's got to be conditions for me. You're like I don't even understand that like whole thought process of love me no matter what
You
I
know what?
change
We're gonna have to
into.
do a
You know what I'm
podcast
saying? Like
on
I don't.
what divorce is not an option means.
Right. And just the quick thought of that is divorce is not an option. That means that we have to solve our
Exactly.
problems in our marriage. Right. And so if my partner is gaining weight, then I have to be man enough to go to them or woman enough to go to them in a very calm manner, a very non-attacking manner, and say, hey, honey, what can we do to help? What can I do to help? What are we struggling with? What can we do to help prioritize working out as something for us? And just saying to them, like, I want you, I want to be attracted. I want to be attracted to you. And that's a
And
difficult conversation
yeah,
that yeah.
the other side of that coin is for those people who got married and a partner was overweight, and over time, at some point, it wasn't as attractive anymore. That's a hard one to deal
Yep.
with.
And so that's a very difficult to deal with. I mean, like it's just that's this whole thing is about, man. This whole thing is about. I was just with a couple weeks ago, and the husband was just like, I'm just no longer attracted to my wife as she once was. She's gained a lot of weight, and I don't know what to do about it. Like, and he really came to me humble, like I don't know what to do about it. But he had not yet really had a constructive conversation with his wife about what to do about the weight. So what had happened was he kind of brought it up in a manner of you need to go lose weight, very attacking. She took it very personal to now she just closes up in her little shell and is not willing to go out there and do things. Whereas I approach weight gain, like I said a couple weeks ago, I approach it as a problem in the marriage as I approach all problems in marriages. And so if someone is not affectionate, I had a woman this week, I said, you have to be more affectionate. I told a man a couple weeks ago, hey, you got to learn how to have better communication. You got to increase your communication. You have to be a loving husband. To which the husband said to me, well, what does that mean? Give me some examples of being a loving husband. So if I could tell a husband to be a more loving husband, I could tell a wife to be more affectionate, then I should be able to tell a spouse that you need
Yeah,
to lose
weight is
weight.
a little bit more
And so, and
objective or
yes,
subjective.
and like you were kind of mentioning earlier, for the most part, 90% of people that I talk to, they weren't like my partner has to lose
Yeah.
52 pounds. You know what I mean? My partner needs to move. I've calculated my partner needs to lose 37 pounds. It wasn't like that. They were just like, could they
Right.
show some effort in losing weight and maintaining, a certain level of attraction so we can continue to have sex? And the reason why I don't believe in unconditional love is because I have to be attracted to you. And I can't. Me being attracted has nothing to do with my heart.
Yeah.
Like I love my wife. I'm into my wife. I'm in love with my wife and things like that. But sometimes I just I want to see a fat booty. You know what I mean? Like I want to see, you know what I mean? Like, and not you know what all my brothers out there
On
know what I
that
mean when I say fat
note,
booty. I ain't talking about the fat
let's
booty.
bring it back in.
Bring it back.
Yes.
Bring it back.
Okay. So, week 7 is Thanksgiving. Um, so we need to focus on, we have spent, the 6 steps, or excuse me, step 7. We spent the 6 steps before, hopefully losing 1 pound a week. And, now we get to Thanksgiving and you decide you're just going to throw down. That is not, you just going to totally reverse all of your progress. So let's focus on making Thanksgiving dinner one cheat meal and not a whole cheat week or weekend. So let's be careful about what we're putting in, and then continue to exercise and work out during Thanksgiving. Do your walk right after dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people, we have more free time Thanksgiving weekend. So a lot of times we take that free time to mean that we need to sit down on the couch and watch a football game all day. Whereas we can get in a workout when as we grow older, we need to look at how we spend our time differently. And we got to be more strategic. You got to plan more appropriately. We got to prioritize our time. So you have to tell yourself in advance, I'm going to eat good on Thanksgiving. Maybe I could take a 30-minute walk on Thanksgiving, then another 30-minute walk on Friday when I'm not working. Nobody works on Thursday and Friday. So we should be able to,
So
try to
yeah,
get
and
in
you
some
can
kind
make
of
it a
walkthrough.
family activity, and then also take that some of that extra time that you have to communicate with each other and do a check, a health check on your marriage, and do an assessment. Hey, we've been going through this program trying to get to more intimacy. How we doing right now?
You know what we're gonna do too? For the next three, we'll just do those next week because we got to spend more time on sex. So let's just list them out. Like the next three, step 8 would be resetting sexual expectations. I have some couples who just get off track. I got some couples who just don't know how much sex they should have. So we'll talk about resetting expectations sexually. Yep. And then step 9 was scheduling a sexual
Yes.
experience. Um, you want
No,
to
I
drop something
love
on that
that.
real quick?
Like let's just schedule some time and make it happen and make it an experience and not just, ooh, it's 9 o'clock, let's do it.
Yeah, yeah. And when I say scheduling sex, people just think that it means like, okay, 9 o'clock, put it in. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not what it is when we're talking about scheduling a sexual experience. And so I'm not going to tell it all this week, but it's an experience, not just sex. And then the last step 10 was just be freak nasty for the husband, for the wife. Just experiment a little bit. Just try to do something different. Don't do the same thing all the time. Don't think that same stroke is going to work
Right.
forever. you know and so we'll talk about that too. Just I might have to do a little bit more research on that, so I just don't come on the podcast and just say, yeah, don't be and just be freak nasty. Like maybe we can actually come up with some I don't
Okay,
know,
so
we have
we'll
to
really
research
dig
that
into
and
that
see what we
next
can
week.
actually. We'll really let's do some research on advising couples. Maybe it's some sex experts that we can do some
Yep,
research on,
yep.
talk to some of them or something like that, and see if we can offer
Cool.
some more advice on that. So
All
close us
right,
out, Tamara.
cool. Well, like we said at the beginning of the program, um, we would appreciate if you guys would subscribe and follow the podcast on iTunes, Spreaker.com, Google Play, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Tell a friend, repost and retweet this podcast for us. And remember, 10 pounds for love, hashtag 10 pounds for love. We're going to lose this 10 pounds before the end of the year.
Thanks,
Thanks.
everybody. Divorce is not an
Bye.
option podcast.
Bye,
No,
y'all.
hey, y'all this week. I think you forgot y'all. Bye, y'all.